Morning, happy Monday. Good morning to me because I slept all day today after a crazy morning. But man, Bitcoin's pumping, ETH is back. We're gonna jump into it, guys. Super exciting day for the markets. Very happy to be here with you guys, and we're gonna try and do a level-headed analysis. I'm gonna try not to flop and grope and froth at the mouth over everything that happened today. It was just a good day for the space, so good for the crypto people. We'll try to figure out what's going on for the traders. But I'm gonna just play this little zombie video because Crypto Zombie's hype, man. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. What's up, Chase Hughes? Good to see you in, man. Let me do my posts and we'll jump right into it. Give me like 5 minutes.
What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great start to your week so far. Now, Bitcoin did have a beautiful bounce 2 weeks ago off of this 21 exponential. You can see right here, and this is showing us that there was a lot of demand, especially for Bitcoin, once we got down to those levels. And even though we did have it followed by a red candle, the green candle that we are currently putting in is quite large, right? In fact, if we have a look over here, you can see that we did have a beautiful retest out of the falling wedge pattern, but unfortunately we are still stuck in the 61,000 to 71,000 range. However, it could actually get extremely exciting very, very soon because there is a major catalyst that a lot of people are not anticipating for Bitcoin. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with the Bitcoin ETFs, but not exactly the ETFs themselves. It has to do with, well, something that these companies are going to have to be, disclosing very soon, and it could be quite massive. So guys, stick around. And also, I wanted to bring you a massive opportunity for the average retail investor. You know, there's always these VCs that are able to get into all these projects before everyone else. They get in at the cheapest possible price, and then sometimes they even end up dumping it right on the retail. Well, it is time to actually have those tables turned, and I think you're going to want to stick around to the end of this video because I think it's something that a lot of people have been demanding for quite a long time. So make sure you guys stick around. Also, friendly reminder, MetaSignals has been absolutely killing it. If you were in the Discord last week, my goodness, we had an amazing string of wins. And just to let you know, there are only 14 NFTs remaining before price increases. So check that out. If you're not interested in the NFT for lifetime access, they do have the USD pair. And by the way, they're now offering a 14-day free trial because that is how confident that they are on the product. And also, guys, LevX, $15,000 you can win in the trading competition bonus. Definitely check that out below in the description. So let's first start with the big catalyst. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. And this is James Lavish. He was over on Swan Bitcoin. This is what a lot of people are not exactly expecting, but it could be the next major catalyst for Bitcoin.
And so that's kind of where we're at, where you've got a few institutions, a lot of hedge funds are trading it. You've got a few institutions that are starting to get in there. But really, Sam, what I think is going to be the big catalyst is now we're bumping up against that period where the institutions that have bought the ETFs, they have to publicly disclose that. And we're going to start seeing some institutions publicly disclose it. And it's not because, and when they disclose it, that's not going to be like, oh, wow, look, you know, the Cleveland Fireman Fund owns some Bitcoin. That's what it means is, oh, look at all of these institutions and these professional investors that have bought this thing. It's kind of turning where I better do my work on this because now I'm getting behind. They all own this thing. I don't even know what it is. It's so that risk of buying it has flipped to the risk of not buying it. We're still in the stage, as you know, that people consider this thing in Wall Street and typically across the nation, they consider this thing a risk-on asset, and it's going to take a while to change that. But this is the beginning of that, and that's what's really important about it.
So essentially, the risk of not owning
What's up, everybody?
Bitcoin
Good afternoon.
larger, or at least
Good
perceived
evening.
as more risky than not having any in allocation.
Good to see you guys in. So, man, as you guys know, today was a crazy bullish day for crypto. Look at the crypto bubbles as you guys pour in here. Man, look at these crypto bubbles, bro. First off, I'm really happy for you guys and your portfolios and just everything. Like, I feel super blessed to be here. So I'm grateful that you guys are coming to me to see what's going on. I'm grateful that I'm at a point in my life where I have the consistency to be here every weekday for the Market Cipher crew. That I'm grateful to God that like my brother is healthy and trading big and trading strong. He's stronger than he's ever been. So it's good times. We're blessed, and it is days like this that remind me that like I am on the right path, and just got to keep the faith. You know what I'm saying? And keep strong, and you know, keep that grind going, bro. Because we're on the right path. We know what's going on. We know what's happening up in this busy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so the crypto markets really pumping. Looks like meme coins, you know, overall this month, you see that the meme coins are still the top performers. You know, watching a lot of other personalities and collecting all the opinions and bubbling it all down. Meme coin communities are very strong, right? Because there's not as much, you know, centralized manipulation. You just have a stronger community effect, which is like really important if you're going to talk about a currency. To have a currency, you have to believe in that idea, you know? And so like, you know, sometimes a laugh is all you need. So these meme coins, Pepe being, you know, the top performer of the month, absolutely amazing. Bonk playing catch up like Heintz. Bonk had a good day today. And, you know, I'd say that the big winner today was Ethereum, right? Because Ethereum was in the doldrums. If we look at the chart on ETH BTC, look how much ground we covered in a single day. I mean, shoot, man. Like, not only did we... This is crazy. This is like a bullish, like, basically a trumpet pattern, like a trumpet bottom with that bull div here that confirmed there. Just a big knife to the upside. Coming back over that Q2 anchor and then pumping off that almost instantaneously. And we are finding some resistance off of, like, you know, basically the last couple years of anchored VWAPs. But when it comes to the macro on ETH BTC, you know, one thing that I was not paying attention to, that I went on the Because Bitcoin show today, by the way, and these guys were quite bullish on this pair, and so it made me like, look, you know, like, what if we slap some anchors on ETH BTC's like highs and lows back here? You can see that the volume weighted sentiments from both of those points in the chart lined up pretty much to where we bounced at. So it does make sense we get a bit of a bounce here. There's a bull div that looks pretty fresh on the weekly, so I would say that this does have more room to play out. That being said, we still are in an established downtrend, so, you know, like, it's going to be a while before you're telling people at the coffee shop to buy ETH, right? Or people, or your Uber drivers telling you to buy ETH, right? Like, it's still in this kind of like bearish mode here with the pairing, but it does look really, really good. Market Cipher's telling us that you see a weekly bull div, money flow potentially turning up. We did have what we saw here is some good strength after a dip, right? We see a nice big candle reaction to that key volume weighted average price, basically lifetime support on ETH BTC. So we're going to keep monitoring this. Obviously, we really want ETH BTC to come over this web of resistances here. We really want ETH BTC to come up to, let's see here, like this top here. If we can get past 0.054 on ETH BTC, we get more bullish. That's my take on that. You know, because we want these anchors to be scooped up, right? We want the volume weighted action below the price action to be aimed up. We want price action on top of anchors for more bullish follow through. Makes it for a lot less risky of a play. So we did see Chainlink pump like last week first, whereas Chainlink today was a complete dud. I mean, if you look at Link today, it didn't really do anything. And if you look at Link ETH, this pairing performed really bad today, you know. So actually the Chainlink play that I did, the swap from ETH into Solana and Chainlink, it paid off a little bit like last week, but ETH just catch up like Heintz, bro. ETH just absolutely dumpstered on Link for the time being. Not that Link isn't looking better, you know, looks like we shot up and we're coming over these anchors, but you know, after today, I might have to reconsider how much Link I have. I might have to just like put maybe a third of that Link back into ETH and accept defeat and accept that I was wrong on that. And then maybe flip a little Bitcoin into ETH, but I'll let my VIP know, and I'll let you guys know tomorrow exactly what I do. But I'm gonna increase my exposure to ETH because I like what I saw today. Coming back over the Q2 anchor. And let's see. Solana, how did Solana do? So Solana had a great last week, right? So today it didn't really perform too well in regards to Bitcoin. So, you know, Sol BTC today didn't really do that hot. But we are over. See, the thing is, it's like, don't get tricked, because Sol BTC is over. It's bullish over these anchors here. And so it may even have to pull back a little bit, but overall Sol BTC is still looking really good. So these, you know, the alts are going to ebb and flow. ETH is going to have a good day. Sol's going to have a good day. I don't think that ETH winning is bad for Sol, or Sol winning is bad for ETH. I think there's enough money to go around. And if anything's going to bleed, it's going to be a lot of the shit coins. Good to have you guys in. Crown Chakra, good to have you in, man. I'm going to give you a wrench, bro. Satoshi Nakamoto, good to see you. Clade the Great, good to see you guys. Man, I was up early in the morning. I was up at 5:30 doing push-ups and handling business, handling the operations. I went on that Because Bitcoin show, handled some pencil necks, popped on the stream with my brother. So man, when that was all said and done, FG was tired, bro. I just slept for like the last 6 hours. So I got my coffee all over again. We're gonna do it all over again. Bitcoin slut, good to see you. I know you're happy, man. You're the Bitcoin slut. I mean, today is your day, man. Love you guys. Love you guys. It was fun, like shooting venom at the pencil necks on my brother's stream. But when I come on live with you guys, it's just like, it seems like it's all positivity, and I can just be my normal kind self, bro. Like I can just like be nice, because I don't really have that many pencil necks, but you know, I'm like so ready for pencil necks. It's like I don't know, I'm not on like steroids or anything, but sometimes I get amped up, like I'm ready for a fight, bro. I got that fight in me, man. My blood's boiling, man. Also, you guys have been like talking about like, FG, don't get sunburned, like you're all red and like you're turning into a lobster, but like that's not from the sun, guys. That's if you do 100 burpees, the blood is flowing through your body so hard that like you just turn red. So I'm not sunburned, I'm just getting some healthy sun. But like if you do 100 burpees, like you turn red in the face and like red all over and shit. So but thank you, I appreciate you guys caring. So let's go to the block. Let's check the flows here. If this can load, let's see if this loads. And we haven't even gotten into the Bitcoin price yet, man. We're still spieling. Got a lot to talk about today. But yeah, man, let the haters hate, man. You know, when you try to do something with your life, and we're all really just doing what we have to do, right? It's like you get put down a path, and you have to just crush it, right? You have to do the best you can. God gave me this path of, you know, helping my brother with his company. And so it's just up to me to do it diligently and consistently and try to do it my best. Put myself out here, even though, like, you know, for most of my life, I was not a public person. So, you know, the haters, I could care less, bro. They're literally just jealous. They're jealous that I have light in my life and I'm transparent in what I do. And because you see my life, you see my life decisions pretty much every day. And I guess it's easy to hate, man, because if you are someone who wakes up and doesn't do what you're supposed to do for the day, and you're not doing anything with your life, then it's easy to hate, bro. But just remember, if you're hating, then you have too much time. You're wasting time. Like, how do you have time to even hate on people? You should be so dedicated to self-improvement that you don't have time to hate. There's no one that I go into the chat of, the live stream of, and spread hate on, because I'm so busy, bro. If I'm not doing push-ups, my brother's on my ass about some shit that NickCipher needs. My family needs something. I gotta stream with you guys. There's so much on my plate that the thought of me being a pencil neck in someone else's thing is just like alien to me, bro. So yeah, it looks like the flows are there's a little bit of divergence. Actually, this is old data. This is from 5/17. So I'm curious. I mean, I guess this data hasn't uploaded, bro. But you guys see that the flows were positive a couple days ago. They did reduce a bit, but I'm guessing that they would have turned up by now. And these positive flows really stack up, right? Because there's less Bitcoin being mined. And so this consistent demand, this daily demand for Bitcoin, you know, you're seeing what happens to the price. And you guys gotta hand it to me. You know, even though I don't have like big trades, I don't come out, show big positions like my bro, still getting to that point mentally in my mind of exposing our family to even more risk on top of what my brother's doing. I want to do it too, you know. So I'm here to like support the crypto face market cipher dream, right? Is in as many ways as I can. But a big part of NickCipher fulfilling his dreams is getting back in, you know, trading as well in a safe fashion. I know how to. And it looks like we're approaching the type of price action that I really love to see for like trending, you know, kind of up only momentum play type trading. And like, I love that shit. So I'm gearing up. I'm ready to tackle that leverage trading apprehension. And I'm gonna do it safe and share what I can with you guys and my VIP. Because, you know, what we see off these levels is like the year to date really held. It's crazy. Like these dynamic supports and resistances really did end up holding, man. And like, you know, May was a bullish month, and it's like I gotta stick by that. I gotta stick by my ideas because they seem to really play out, bro. It's I mean, I'm just baffled, bro. I put out that leapfrog video, how like, you know, every quarter or every month the price tends to go back to the previous anchor, and it's just crazy watching stuff play out despite the doubt and like I don't even like saying a lack of attention or eyeballs or support, because truly in my life nothing is lacking, you know. You don't want to be thinking like that, but you know, it's just the way social media works, bro. It's crazy. You get devoid of attention when like you actually need it, right? When a price is at its low, or when you're at a low in your life, it's like no one gives a shit, right? It's only performance that the eyeballs come. And so as Bitcoin begins to perform better, there's going to be more eyeballs on it. There's going to be more hype around it. And the risk profile, like we saw in this zombie video, the risk profile is going to switch, where it's like it becomes risky to not get into this shit. Like if you don't know anything about Bitcoin and it's still pumping, if you see 100K Bitcoin and you don't know what a Bitcoin is, bruh, you know what I'm saying, dude? So, and you know, I was talking with Gio a couple weeks ago, and back then he's probably, I don't know if he still thinks this, but we were talking about how like he thinks that it would sell off before we hit to 100K. Like there would be people selling into 100K, but truthfully, I believe that if, you know, maybe that is true, but if we do hit 100K, I think that's bullish. Like I think that things really change for the space when Bitcoin hits 100K. That's a super hype level. It's like a trophy for Bitcoin if Bitcoin hits 100K. And you may get some sellers, but I think that you would get even more that's retail FOMO coming in at 100K. And I believe that we would probably have some spillover, froth over pumps, potentially up to like 120 or something, like 112 or like 120K or some shit, because 100K generates like a lot of hype. maybe not even majority for Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin going from 100K to 120 isn't too big of a move, but Bitcoin to 100K would mean a lot for altcoins. Like, the crypto space in general would explode if Bitcoin hit 100K. You would start seeing Pepe going absolutely bonkers, and you'd see Bonk going bonkers, and like all these meme coins here. And when we look at you look at the bubbles, and it's like when people come into Bitcoin at 100K, they're not going to buy Cardano, guys. They're going to look at the year and they're going to go, okay, Bitcoin, ETH, Solana. Let's see here. Here we go. No, I'm sorry. They're gonna look at the year and they're gonna buy performance, right? Retail is pretty smart. Like they when they do come into crypto, they're coming in to gamble, right? And so, you know, they're gonna look at the results and they're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna get some bonk, I'm gonna get some of this shit, some AI, and they're gonna get some AI and some meme coins. That's where all the money's gonna go. I don't think it's gonna go to Cardano. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's kind of how I'm feeling. It's like retail, every cycle gets a little bit more narrow in what they do with their money. First of all, there's less money to go around, right? People are struggling more than ever. So, and on top of that, we're in this everything bubble, which means that people are more gambling, more open to gambling. So gambling on some meme coins is awesome. Like, people are going to buy some bonk, some Pepe, some Floki. They're going to get some Caspa. They're going to get some Fetch AI. Out of ETH or Solana, they're probably going to get Solana because Solana is the newer, sleeker, cooler coin. So I'm just going to expect the winners to keep winning. And if any other coins, I'm basically just going off performance. You know what I'm saying? I want to see performance. I want to see bumps. And we'll go from there. I'm kind of done, you know, catching knives on ancient dinosaur shit coins, basically. Like, for instance, it was tough for me to, you know, this was a knife. This ETH knife was a tough one for me because I have this mentality where I want to swap into performance and then swap back into Bitcoin. So ETH had a long ways to go. We just made a lot of ground in a single day. This is super beautiful for ETH. I love this shit. So if ETH can come up to 0.054, flip some of these anchors bullish, man, that looks a lot better for the ETH, man. Looks a lot better for sure. And you got a lot of upside on ETH too. What's the upside here? If we were to pump from that anchor back up to the all-time high, you got a good 66% pump there, ETH to BTC. So like if you swap your BTC to ETH, you and then back to Bitcoin, you'd have 66% more Bitcoin when you swap back into Bitcoin. That's a crazy thing to look at. AZTV says, I would expect ETH BTC to range and accumulate. Man, you know, I would say that I agree, because what we have here is we got some downsloped macro anchors from the last couple of quarters on Ethereum BTC. This is some major resistance, and so I would expect us to pretty much consolidate at these levels, build a bull case to break out of here based on the bull dip we see on the weekly, right? But you can't deny that this did bounce off some pretty big support. You place an anchored VWAP off of ETH BTC's high and ETH BTC's low here. Both of those converge at that bottom, so it's amazing to see ETH pinging off that critical volume weighted support. Trench Runner asks, we're in no man's land with no VWAP, but do you think there's any legs left in BTC? That's a great question, man. I haven't really tackled the BTC price action yet. And we have methods to gauge volatility with the VWAPs, right? Thankfully, we have the volatility band. So from a quarterly, let's do a quarterly target, a quarterly upside target. We'll put all these bands up. So it looks like we are hitting band 2. So we're getting some, what I would call medium quarterly pumpage some medium quarterly FOMO pumpage, some level 2. There's level 1, level 2, level 3 pumpage, right? We're right at level 2. And so this is a point where maybe you would see a little bit of sideways, but you're expecting this to come up a little bit more, right? You're looking at this to come up, whether we find a bottom, like basically whether it just stays here and goes sideways, or if it has to come down and retest. You're still looking for this to come all the way up to about 75K. So we're over these anchors, looking bullish. Bitcoin it tends to ignore structure, and then we come down on that shit way later, if we ever do. So if we were to pump from this level, you still got another 5% or so before you hit like level 3, total frothing at the mouth, flopping and groping, bullish. Tell everyone at the coffee shop to buy Bitcoin, and then they get sold into, right? Definitely gonna find some supply up here around 75 for sure. These current levels, there might be a little bit of supply, or might be a bit of a sell-off, but this is not nearly as hypey as if we were to go up to 75. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely find some supply up there at that 75K level, because that would be a new all-time high. Psychologically 75, bro. 75 out of 100. Like, shit, what's the last 25 out of 100? Imagine you're doing 100 push-ups. You're doing sets of 25. If you can do 3 sets of 25, you can 100% do that last set of 25. So the last 25K, it's like, it seems like a done deal. If Bitcoin hits 75K, that it for sure is gonna like go to 100K. And that frothiness, that flopping and groping is a reason to dump some supply. So like people will sell into that a little bit, even though I believe that is a true idea. I believe if we hit 75, like 100K is definitely in the cards, man. But personally, I may be selling a little Bitcoin at 75 just to cover some costs, because I want to travel, bro. Like if Bitcoin starts moving again in a big way, I need to be out there, in the world, meeting people again and representing MC like I was in Miami a couple months ago, and kind of getting the juices flowing and making shit happen, So I might sell a little Bitcoin at these levels myself. So we do see a little bit more upside, but nothing too crazy for the short term, just like a 5% move there. Now, let's see. Are we looking divergent? Is there a little bit of resistance going on? Let's see. So we got a daily reset, got a really nice bullish day. Look at this. Just to reflect on what happened here. Let's see. Let's go to the 1 hour. There was like a bearish setup here. So you guys see, like I had this line set up, right? We were forming some higher highs. We had these extended higher highs. Money flow was kind of reducing a bit, and so we did get a correction. We did get a correction off the intraday VWAP, about a 2% correction. We find support on the all-time high anchor. That all-time high anchor place at Bitcoin's old all-time high over here held really great. In fact, when it came to this whole upward move, the first bounce was off the quarter 2, and the second bounce was off the all-time high. So it's like the anchored VWAPs were the only 2 lines that you really needed, and you just needed to trust them. Part of me hates that shit, bro. It's like how come I'm not like betting the farm on these anchors every time? Because like it's just crazy, bro. Like it's freaking mind-boggling. Yes, trench runner. I'm just like, like you guys call me smart, but I'm sitting here like feeling dumb because I'm not trusting my own anchors like as much as I actually should. These things are freaking beautiful, man. It's like I only needed 2 lines to murder this shit. Like, god damn it, bro. You guys should be seeing FG like in a fucking Ferrari in Miami with like 6 chicks all around me partying, because I'm just like a degen betting millions on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I gotta get more risk. I gotta turn the risk on, bro. I gotta crank the risk up, bro. This shit's crazy. Bent Refraction says, which AVWAP is that in TradingView? Good question, man. So it is not a script. It's a drawing tool. It's a very easy to place drawing tool. bent refraction, you go to the tool up here. You see on the left where I'm hovering, you go down to volume based indicators and you click anchored VWAP, you star that. And I like to go to the daily for the most part. Like, you go to the daily chart, and it would make sense that placing an anchored VWAP on the yearly high would make sense, right? That would be an important level for Bitcoin to come over, right? So you place an anchored VWAP on the March 14th high. That's this orange line right here. And you go into the settings there, make sure that you have OHLC4 enabled. This puts you, like, it generates the anchor at the midpoint of the candle that you select. And if you ever want to, like, kind of figure out some upside targets, you put these bands up. So you see I put band 3, and now we can see up here, okay, Bitcoin maybe could go up to like 76K based on this anchor. So the bands are just a way to kind of gauge like upside, downside volatility targets, but they are just projections. So I like to kind of enable them, take a peek, and then disable them, because they really clog the chart up big time, bro. And I like to keep my charts relatively clean. So yeah, the all-time high anchor really served us well in regards to finding that tap of support for that massive move. Another little bit of follow through that we see is the traction over the intraday. We get the classic whale splash move that you guys know about from my SR like FloppingGroper tutorial. We come over the intraday, you get the whale splash, and you get that follow through just like we love to see. So that's some FG VWAP basic strategy going on right there. So on the 1 hour, I don't see much. Let's see what's on the 1 hour. What's the wave reading here? You know, all I could see for a bull div on the 1 hour is like, you know, green dots are lows in blue wave, right? You know, one way to conceptualize this is if you go into the blue wave and make it a line instead of an area. You know, now you can clearly see that like this is a low, even though it's over the zero line, that's a low, right? And so I have a trained eye able to see like, yes, this is a downtrend in blue wave with that coincided with price holding pretty even. And so there, on this 1 hour, there definitely was some hidden bullish divergence at play. It just wasn't like very convincing. So that happened on the hourly. We'll see if there was a setup on the smaller time frames. Looks like you know, overall what we do see here, guys, is an anchor trigger. If we go to the 15-minute, this is a pretty popular like execution time frame. You get this big blob, and this alone is not a justification to long, in my opinion. This is just an anchor wave according to our basic strategy. But then when you come over the intraday, you know, you get this wave here, you get that wave there. The picture that this is painting is an anchor trigger, right? So now this is actually, you got an anchor trigger set up on the 15-minute there, and with some immediate follow through. So man, it did play out really good. So the intraday just reset. We just got a fresh daily candle. It's a super bullish daily candle. Etamea says that's the setup I caught, man. Good for you, man. Bent refraction, yes. For source on those VWAP, select OHLC4. Open, high, low, close, divided by 4. And you get a nice average. Rye Guy is the kind of a fly guy. Does Brian Shannon use OHLC4? Yes, bro. In the book that I have on my desk here, I got that setting from him. He says in his book to use OHLC4. I did make sure to read up on these tools that I use because I wanted to be a sound, level-headed voice. I wanted to bring Brian Shannon's teachings to crypto, use it with NickCipher because I really believed in it. Like, I've been using VWAPs for years and years, and it was about time that I polished up my knowledge on them. So if you guys are curious about VWAPs, you got to get Maximum Trading Gains with Anchored VWAP by Brian Shannon. It's like a $50 book. teaches you a lot about VWAPs. Like one lesson that he taught me that I was not aware of is like when you have a VWAP and it is sloped up, such as here, the candles are going to keep going up. Like an upsloped VWAP leads to upsloped price action, whereas a flat VWAP leads to flat price action, right? It makes like total sense. But it's like you don't actually, I don't know, it's just like a breakthrough for me, bro. But you apply that to EMAs as well. Like an upsloped EMA, price action over an upsloped VWAP or an upsloped moving average is inherently bullish. And so yeah, like once a VWAP starts sloping up, that really matters. That's why you guys hear me talking about like on these macro time frames, like if these anchors can start sloping up for us, it's just going to get more bullish. Like it gets more bullish as we close above these levels. All these anchors are going to twist and turn upwards, right? And that natural upslope of the volume is going to make us even more bullish. And the reason why shit wasn't too volatile for the last couple months is because look, it's like the anchors were flat. We're in this consolidation sideways point in the markets, whereas back here, you know, your anchors were in ascent, sloped upwards, and we got bullish price action. You can even see like a point where like the anchors are sloped down, like here. Look what the price is doing. Even though the price isn't interacting with the anchor is still actually imposing its will on the price. You see the price shooting down because your anchor is sloped down. So that's the power of a trend. That's the power of trend is your friend until the end type shit. And Bitcoin doesn't roar back above that until we get some sideways period with that anchor. We got to flatten that anchor out. Then you have the opportunity to overcome that anchor. And yeah, Brian Shannon, you know what's really cool about him is he's like, he posts analysis on semiconductors, the S&P, the Russell 2000, Bitcoin. He's not like as big into crypto. He'll talk a little bit of shade on crypto people because he doesn't hold, he's not a Bitcoin hodler. He simply buys shares, right? He works from a USD amount, right? And so sometimes he'll buy some Bitcoin, sometimes he'll buy some Ethereum, but he's not like a Bitcoin guy. He's not a Bitcoin person like us. He's kind of more old school, but I like that about him, man. So I every once in a while I'll follow up. I'll be like, man, what's the creator of the anchored VWAP saying about Bitcoin? I feel kind of blessed that he like provides Bitcoin analysis. So I'll look what he has to say. He uses a 5-day moving average along with these anchors. So he uses a strategy similar to like on some streams, you guys saw that I was using DBSI. You know, like if you flip the DBSI, see the DBSI flipped green on us, right? So we are looking for green dots for longs on market Cipher. And this DBSI is slowly turning up. And so hopefully for the rest of May, we're seeing some nice upsloped EMA, right? So Brian Shannon, he likes to mix a little bit of EMA action with the anchored VWAPs, and like they go well together. Heiken Mashitato says the Square Enix mix has been on my playlist for years. Good stuff. Yeah, man. My brother and I grew up like playing PlayStation 2, staying up late at night playing video games, and man, I would swim all day. And then my buddies would come over and we'd play Final Fantasy and like Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter and shit on the PlayStation 2, man. That was like my childhood, bro. But my older brothers, CF and Cryptogon the Internet, they're a little older than me, so yeah, they were big on FF7. I was more into FF10. Yeah, my older bros, they were Final Fantasy 7 all the way. They would always say Final Fantasy 7's the best Final Fantasy, but I was like a little bit newer gen. I'd try to play FF7 and it was a little hard to enjoy because the graphics were kind of like poor. Whereas FF10 was just like my shit, bro. Like, it's like I love that story. FF10's like one of the best games ever, man. And I wish I could play video games all day, every day, bro. Maybe when Bitcoin hits 100K, I'll nuke the channel. You know, go back to smoking pot and playing video games all day. That sounds like the life, bro. Digital Asset says, is your other brother not CF? Oh yeah, it's Crypto Guy on the Internet, bro. Go to YouTube. So he has a lot of other stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? But this is our older brother. Go ahead and follow Crypto Guy on the Internet. He helps me with my thumbnails. He helps us with stuff every now and then on NickCipher. So it's all love, man. He's you see, he did some tutorials for us too on the NickCipher YouTube channel. He's got a good voice. He follows crypto news pretty good. He's into he's like a pro Hearthstone player. He's like he wins tournaments in Hearthstone. And so he's into Lords of Light now. He's into blockchain Web3 gaming, which I think is like perfect for him. And he also put out this amazing video on how to copy Congress's stock trades. So you guys get like stock picks. He basically showed me this website called Capital Trades. Capitaltrades.com. Capital is in like the US capital. And this is a really cool website where you can basically select like your favorite politician, right? And you can see what stocks they're buying and when they bought it and how it's doing. And so you look at these stocks that the insiders are trading. And then you go on NickCipher and you see like, you know, when did they buy in? Was that a good time to buy in? Like, was NickCipher saying that was a good time to buy? Or because, you know, sometimes they buy in at like stupid times where NickCipher isn't really clear and it like pumps anyways. And it's like these insider motherfuckers, man, you know? It's so funny, bro. So that video he posted deserves like 1 million views, bro. That is like, if you're trading stocks, if you got an E-Trade account or a TD Ameritrade, definitely check out Crypto Guy on the Internet. Watch that video. If you're into Web3 gaming, check out his Lords of Light content. And if you're in like another country, first of all, Web3 gaming, play to earn, this shit is so underrated, bro. Like, obviously in America, in the first world, we look down on this shit as like nerdy, right? But you guys got to realize, like, someone in a poor country can play Lords of Light and make like US dollars. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like you earn the crypto and you can feed your family for months just by winning a Lords of Light tournament. Like, it is revolutionary. It is amazing. And we're kind of arrogant as Westerners to, like, you know, look at the pay grade of like someone who wins the Lords of Light tournament and be like, oh, that's not enough, like, to be a loser or a nerd or whatever. It's like, no, I mean, this is tech that's helping. I mean, there's already like Chinese gold farmers, right? Like, you would play World of Warcraft when you're younger, and, you know, like, you would look down on like the Venezuelan gold farmers in RuneScape or whatever the hell. It's like there's always been people using online worlds, metaverses, to feed their families, you know. And it is you know, it's dirty work, man. You know, it's like little pay for how much time you're putting in. But for someone in those countries who lacks opportunity, it's everything, you know. And so that stuff's coming from, it used to be underground, now it's coming above ground. That's what Web3 play to earn gaming is. It's the surfacing of earning in metaverses, earning money in metaverses. That's beautiful. Yeah. That's my take on all that stuff. Is you know, that's some underrated. Everything he's doing is underrated, man. So he'll pop off on his own eventually. But let me make another coffee, guys. I'll be right back. And we're gonna jump into it. We're gonna go into some altcoin picks. Maybe do some deeper ETH and SOL analysis. Go over the stock market, go over the Dixie. Man, we got so much to cover today, man. It's such a big day. But I'll be right back. Man, you know what I was thinking about is, like, I'm very clearly a Bitcoin guy, right? And so when I go to my gym, like, a lot of the people in my gym, they're weary about, like, reblogging or, like, collabing or putting any, like, Bitcoin stuff on their page because, like, it's still controversial, right? It's still, like, risky to say, like, that you're into this shit. You're still a weirdo for being into Bitcoin. And it's like, it's so funny, bro. It's so funny. It's like, I see it as like a market indication, right? That, like, we're still so early for, like, if you say, like, you know, like, I'm into this, people still look at you like hella weird, bro. Like, this isn't like this isn't mainstream and this isn't normal shit. Like, regular people like are gonna like look and talk to you and treat you like you're weird when this shit is, like, clearly happening. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you guys are stupid, bro. You know? But we don't, you know, it's like, we don't need to be super evangelical to retail because the institutions are coming for Bitcoin. You know, and so, you know, protect your asses. Don't be, like, you know, stupid, like, running around, like, just telling everybody to buy Bitcoin and shit. Like, you know, like, you're not a financial advisor. We're not financial advisors at the end of the day. So it isn't really our job to shill, bro. But I just think it's funny, man. I think, man, they're going to get orange pilled sooner or later, man. Sooner or later, they're going to get orange pilled, and, you know, you're going to regret, like, not thinking about this shit sooner. Ben Refraction says, I didn't need crypto to be considered weird. Me too, man. Me too. Not gonna lie. Digital Asset said, I met my new neighbor today and I got that look when I told him I was heavy in crypto. Yeah, dude, the look of, like, you know what it is, bro? It's jealousy. Because you're inherently more risk on than they are. And it's like jealousy. It's like, damn, I wish I could just succumb. I wish I could just, like, jump off the cliff and just know that I'm going to fly. You know, it's like, a lot of people are like beaky buzzard. They're, like, bashful and apprehensive about, like, taking that leap, you know? Yeah. Different strokes, different folks. Anthony T says, yo, what's up, FG? Got my lady packing in the other room. Taking her to Seattle to see her favorite band and do some touristy stuff. BTC finally deciding to move as I'm leaving. That's awesome, Anthony T. Good, spending good time with your lady. It's good to travel when Bitcoin's pumping, dude. Like, you get to talk to the people of the world. You know, you're going to be talking to strangers and getting a good dose of the world outside of your own little bubble at home. And that's great, like, when prices are moving and things are topical and, you know, shit's happening. Like, when I was in Miami and we were at all-time highs in March, that was, like, the best, dude. What's crazy is I planned that trip, like, a month in advance, and it just played out where, like, as soon as I arrive in Orlando to train with Mike, prices are popping off. I'm having reels being shared, like, 40 times and shit. And then in Miami, like, the prices were at all-time highs, so... And I was, like, talking to people on the beach, like... Just everybody was... It was so cool, man. So I love traveling at all-time highs. I'm gonna keep doing it. I want to go to Atlanta. I want to meet like AJ and the BitBoy people in Atlanta. I want to go back to Florida again just cause, like, you got Evan Aldo down in Miami and, like, just so many people in Florida that I love and I want to see. I could even go to, like, New York and go hang out with frickin' Randy, Miss Teen Crypto and shit. Like, that whole East Coast. I got a lot of work to do, man. Bet Refraction says a lot of people were skeptical about Microsoft and Apple in the 70s. Man, I wish I was around in the 70s, bro. I wish I could have experienced the beginning of the internet and all those things firsthand, man. It would have given me a good perspective for what's currently happening. Digital assets, yeah, man. Vacation write-offs for the win, bro. Vacation write-offs for the win. Alrighty, so let's check the treasury bonds. Are we fucked yet? Are we fucked yet on the treasury bonds? You know what's a little bit concerning about the treasury bonds is that the DBSI is green and sloped up, and we are getting a little bit of a bounce off the DBSI with a daily scale wave. And so we don't want this chart to be in an uptrend. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want this to cross the 0 line, because that would spell impending 60% crash in the S&P. So, but we do have a lot of time for this to play out. This could come up and reject and go for a whole nother U-shaped low, or it could just freaking shoot up through and happen sooner than later. Who knows? But we'll be following the Treasury bonds. That's definitely a leading indication of some serious warning signs that we want to keep looking at. Now, when it comes to the dollar index, looks like we're on top of the DBSI. We did get that weekly sell-off, even more weekly sell-off, but not too much to say here. Still playing out that weekly bearish kind of trend, still playing out. If this flips bullish, that would be something to talk about. You know, if the weekly on the Dixie somehow gets saved. Right now, it's still playing out. It's still crossed below the 0 line. RSI is still coming down, and the weekly wave is still descending. So a kind of moderate bullish environment for cryptos and stonks. The S&P, how is the S&P doing? So it looks like the S&P on the daily hitting a bit of a daily snag in terms of directional oscillators here, like the blue wave, red dot, yellow oscillator. Thinking like it might cross down, although it looks a little strange. It's like, oh no, it is crossing down. Money flow is reduced. That being said, quarter 2 on the stonks does suggest that there's a little bit more upside, a little 2% pumper potentially still in the cards. So take that as you will. Does the stock market have to come down, perhaps to fill this little gap down here? There could be like maybe like a 1% pump and then continuation to the upside. Or we could just leave that gap in the dust, go up to the top of that volatility band first, then look at corrections. Either way, the stonks are holding at these all-time high levels for the time being. But just some worrying signs on the daily. Weekly still in ascent. The weekly chart's still looking okay, but if this does round out and the yellow oscillator starts tumbling down, you'll hear it here first. Let's look at Solana. We want to look at Solana. Solana's been performing very well over its anchors. Today was an okay day. You know, today was not the best compared to Ethereum. You know, Solana was whatever. But the last couple weeks, Solana's been performing really well. So we're just looking for Solana to continue up to the top of this volatility band. Another good 10% potential on Solana. I don't know. What you guys think? I see a little bit of bear div on the 4-hour here. I do see like these waves are pretty topped out. Yellow oscillator crossing down on the 4-hour, and yet the price came up. And so, slap an anchor on this low. A bit of a cushion here. We got a lot of cushion. Like Sol could come down to as far as 161 and still remain in this uptrend that it's got. So this looks pretty concerning on the 4-hour for the time being. What about the hourly chart? You see money flow coming out on the 65-minute chart here. We got a new intraday, so price action is trending under for now. Not gonna lie, it looks Sol looks bearish divergent, right? Money flow's coming down. Waves kind of flat, or maybe even reducing with this uptrend here. So I'm anticipating a bit of correction. You know, short-term correction down to 179.89. You slap an anchor on that recent low. that would be a good level to come down, find some support on. If it had to keep continuing this uptrend and getting more and more divergent, that would be a really nice low. If we could just come down to 179.89 and see some strength down there, that would be very nice. But if we lose 179.89, you may be seeing a deeper correction. Maybe seeing a deeper correction, potentially down to as low as this one down here, 161.63. Overall, though, what we see is some upsloped anchors, right? And so, you know, in this kind of environment where the anchors are sloped up, I wouldn't be looking for a short on Solana, not necessarily, because I would basically be patient for the next long on Solana, because we're in this bullish posture. It's in like knife to upside, positive, upsloped, anchored VWAP environment. And so I would say let it settle down. Wait for a good 1 hour wave reading. Go onto the smaller time frames and execute on a long on Solana. The shorts are a little risky at this point in time just because we're over all the anchors and shit. If we look at Sol BTC, we love to see Sol obviously over its Q2 anchor. We love to see it over the year to date. So both the Q2 and the year to date anchor acting as a solid base of support. We could come all the way down there to those levels here at 0.00237 and still maintain good like hopeful bullish structure. Hopefully we do hold at these levels and these anchors turn up. If these anchors do turn up, you're expecting this pair to keep performing. Potentially get like a third big pump up. You see, like when Sol BTC does pump, it tends to rip very quickly and then settle down over an extended period of time. So gotta keep monitoring that, man. Is Sol gonna rip again? We'll have to see. And that's pretty much it for my spiels. Yeah, we could look up some like, let's check the block, you know, see if there's any like cool crypto news. And if you guys got any coins you want me to look at, man, drop them in the comments and I'll take a peek at them. Looks like Web3 gaming platform Gala loses 200 million in potential exploit. That's always a bad thing to see. Backdoors, exploits, glitches, not good, man, for a crypto ecosystem. We like sound code, sound technology. We like being bulletproof against government bullshit, hackers, all that shit. So that sucks. That sucks for Gala. And we're still seeing drama about the ETH ETF. You know, from what I've heard, the approval rating, people are expecting the ETF to get rejected. And so, man, those guys on the Because Bitcoin channel, they were saying that it was priced in. That, you know, the ETH ETF being rejected idea was priced in. And that was like this morning before we just mooned. It like freaking pumped. That shit was crazy what happened on ETH today. But gosh, what a rally on ETH, bro. We are back, man. That's freaking nuts. Anchor's still sideways. There's like a low volume pump, but you know, we want to see some additional daily closes. Scoop these anchors up. You see the DBSI starting to turn up. So ETH setting up for you know, more bullishness if we can just turn up here. But I don't know, ETFs, that's the start of something good. You want to see the actual money coming in. Once the money comes in, That is the force that pushes price up, is the actual money coming in and buying the ETH, right? And so the approval of the ETF, I think, is kind of like a non-thing, you know? Show me the money, baby. CryptoFoo says there was more data out on ETF. Looks like it's favored for approval. Man, I'm so freaking done with this dance back and forth of approval or not. Just show me the money, bro. Anthony T says, "How's the real market that matters, Pepe?" Ooh, that's a good idea, bro. Let's go to Pepe. Pepe, obviously the best performing asset of the year. It's like the king of crypto. The weekly was saved on Pepe a couple weeks ago, a week or two ago. So your blue waves on the weekly are over the 60 line, not turned down yet. Your yellow oscillator is ascending. Your 2-day yellow oscillator crossing 0 and the blue wave looking to change its tune. It's always like bullish when you see a very clear, you know, bearish signal, and then all of a sudden it's just getting unwritten, like undone, like it just didn't even matter, like it's just being saved by Jesus himself. The daily looking to cross back up here. Man, how it's hard not to be bullish on Pepe. It's the top performer. It's like the Kobe Bryant of crypto, bro. It's like, how do you not keep believing in it, man? Man, Pepe just behaves so nice. The anchors are curving up, right? So you're in a bullish environment. Obviously, you're at a previous recent high. So there's a bit of supply at this level. But your money flow is divergent. You see on the 8-hour, the money flow is not quite picked up yet. But you're seeing a hidden bullish divergence here on the waves. You see the waves coming down, but the price is going up. On the 1 hour, you see a bullish scooping of money flow. See some anchor wave action on the 1 hour. Maybe we just got to see a trigger wave and you get some big follow through on Pepe. We want to see a nice trigger wave on Pepe. Okay, let's see what other suggestions we got here. ENA. What is ENA? Relatively new coin. New coin we're talking about here. Your daily still playing out. Looks like we just overcame the May anchor. If we could hold over these levels, man, you're looking at a move up to the all-time high, or not the all-time high, but the lifetime volume weighted average price. A little 22% move if we can continue to the upside. I see an uptrend to red money flow on the 4 hour. Despite that DBSI kind of bearing down, a little bit of a downtrend bias, right? Still dealing with, just in terms of the odds, the waves above the 0 line still have a good chance to play out, you know, being under a downsloped lifetime anchor, a downsloped DBSI that's not green quite yet. So you're in a little bit more of a bearish environment here, but I do see some good signs. I see anchor trigger money flow coming up. A little bit risky, but yeah. Let's take a look at Phantom. Phantom's looking to change they're becoming Sonic or something soon. Got myself some Phantom myself. Okay, let's see here. Can we get an anchor? Can we get a volume figure? Phantom obviously performing quite well. You know, we're over these anchors. They're scooping up. It is good. We're getting some short-term correction, some short-term storm. There's a storm blowing through, right? You see bear div, yellow oscillator crossing down. Higher highs despite the waves looking weaker. This is screaming to me that you want to wait for a re-entry, a re-entry on Phantom. You know, you have a green DBSI, so longs are favored. It's only a matter of time before longs are in the green. It's only a matter of time before shorts are in the red on Phantom. So, yes, you could short some bear div, but consider that an intraday play. You know, you don't really want to swing short Phantom in such a powerful position as this. What we like to see is, you know, obviously, like if you got this upsloped DBSI, you got anchors being pulled to the upside. Yes, you see, this is where it gets hard to read charts, right? Because you see bear signs in a bullish environment. This is a key to me to wait on the sidelines, wait for a proper setup that is in alignment with the trend. Sometimes you look at a chart and it's telling you to wait, you know? So Phantom, this Phantom chart's definitely telling me, like, yes, we are bullish. Good things are coming. But potentially, like, look at the weekly. The weekly looks like it's getting saved here. Momentum wave, green dot coming up here. Overall, looking nice and strong, right? Monthly chart, there's not much data there, but you see that wave is coming up. So, yeah, let this cool off a bit. If we can drudge out, maybe get an anchor trigger on the 1 hour, things will look a lot better there. Satoshi Nakamoto. Let's look at AXL. I love pulling out the DBSI, man. It gives like such strong trend bias. The only thing is, an EMA is time frame specific. So, like if I go to the 4 hour, this is what DBSI looks like because it's just a 200 candle moving average, right? So on the 4 hour, this is going to look different than on the 65 minute. Whereas a VWAP is always a VWAP, you know? Like if I put a VWAP here at this low, you see that VWAP is at 1.02. If I go to the daily, that VWAP is still right there at that same level. Although for some reason it says a different number. It's not supposed to say that. It actually does look a little bit different. There we go. It's supposed to be the exact, VWAPs are supposed to be static, the same value as you switch across the time frame. So they almost act as a control variable, whereas the waves, the candlesticks, the EMAs, everything else is like an experimental variable, like moving around the VWAPs, which are like set in stone, you know? So you could analyze, like if there's an interaction around a powerful VWAP line, you could go across like as many time frames as you want to see what's going on around that level. But I digress on that. So it looks like Axel is, you know, on the 65 minute trying to flip green here. I do see some money flow trending up. Let's see. How's May looking? So actually, you know, if you slap an anchor on the 1st of May, you see that May hasn't been the hottest month for Axel. And if you do one on quarter 2 on April 1st, you see we're in a downtrend. So Axel is, even though we're battering down the gates, you're still in this environment where you're looking at the tops of waves for shorts until this can break through these levels and start turning these VWAPs upward. Now, is there any kind of macro support if we put an anchor like at the low? Okay, so this suggests that, you know, even though we are in like a quarterly, last couple quarters, kind of downtrend, like a monthly, quarterly kind of downtrend. In terms of like the lifetime of Axel, there's a volume weighted support line that we've found support on. And there is a bit of a bullish divergence going on here, an uptrend to the blue wave that goes into July. So a potential bottom here, potential bottom. Just know that on a monthly, quarterly standpoint, you're dealing with some downtrend bias, and so you may see some disappointments in your long setups just because it's advantageous to keep shorting this market at this current time. But I do like that lifetime support down there, man. Holding this level is really critical at 0.94, 94 cents. Let's take a look at STX for Mark here. Mark the Shark. Mark the Shark, good to have you in, bro. Hopefully you guys appreciate just price action analysis in a vacuum, man. I'm not like the most knowledgeable on shitcoin politics and stuff, and so anything I say is purely based off charts, right? We're looking at charts here. We're not looking at news. We're not looking at, you know, innovations or empty promises, fulfilled promises. I don't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I'm saying? All we're looking at is the chart. What's the money doing? You know? So STX. First of all, we're going to gauge the medium-term trading environment. You see that we're overcoming May. You see that we still have yet to flip quarter two into a bullish quarter. And so for the time being, looks like a bull div playing out on the daily. So it does seem pretty in the cards for this to come up to test that quarter two sentiment, a 17% swing up there for you. If we do one at the low, if we place one at our low here, perhaps a year to date. Okay. It's not what we want to see is like us hitting support, right? We want to see like kind of like what we saw in the last chart, where when you do this like lifetime bottom anchor, you want this anchor to be like where we're at now. You know what I'm saying? Because what this suggests is maybe, you know, we could come down lower on STX, and you know, the lifetime recovery of this asset would not be in jeopardy if we were to dump down another 35%, which is not a insignificant amount, you know? So there's a big cushion, which leads to a potential of like a lot of downside on that when considering how stacked against the bullish case these anchors are. We're sideways and down. So, you know, in terms of cards stacked against you, got a couple cards stacked against you with some room to the downside. That being said, the reclaiming of month, like this month may be a bullish month. You may get that play up to the Q2, but the risk profile increases at that point because you could get a rejection at that level, or even the level from the all-time high at $2.50. But I do see the money flow scooping back up. Little bit of an uptrend in the money flow, some bullish divergence with the money flow. Man, I hope that helps, bro. I hope I helped you out there. Digital asset wants me to look at Brett. I'm pretty sure I'm bullish on Brett, man. Let's take a look at this chart. I looked at Brett not too long ago. In fact, let me add Brett to my hot list, man, because I gotta be following like what this is doing every day. Brett's one of those new chains with meme coins on it that has the potential to like do what Solana is doing. You know, it's like a new sleek, cool chain that there's memes on. So if we can get meme coin communities, this, like, the importance of Brett may play out deeper into the bull run. Like, let's say Solana's gains become disappointing, right? The next hot thing may like there may be a narrative around Brett. So we do want to keep an eye on this because I've seen good community hype around it. It's kind of a stupid name. I feel like the name Brett is like Kyle, bro. No offense to any Kyles, you know, but it's got like a little bit of a stigma for me personally. Like every Brett I ever met was kind of a, you know, kind of a mook. But I'm gonna try to not have that kind of bias. And but yeah, so you know, we are up at the volatility band of man, what anchor is this, bro? This is the May anchor on Brett. Looks like we are hitting those volatility limits here. You know, we're at like level 3 in terms of like how far this thing can get stretched. So we are seeing some supply being dumped at this level for the time being. That being said, Brett, as you guys can see, you see the upsloped DBSI. You see the anchors trending up and turning up. And so you want Brett to settle down and look for a long play, an anchor trigger. You see the anchor on the 65-minute. A trigger wave could play out really nice for you on Brett. Yeah. It's in a nice bullish stance. That's like if you're looking for longs, you do want to pick charts that are trending on their monthlies and quarterly VWAPs, sloped up, curved up, DBSI green. The knife catching can get a little tricky, right? Because like, look, like let's say you're in a point in the markets. Let's just delete all our drawings real quick. Delete all our indicators. And then put them back on. But yeah, it's like you, let's see here. Let's get the DBSI back on. Okay, here we go. So like if you're in a point in a market where, you know, the DBSI is red like this, you get these bull divs, right? You get bullish signs. You get like, you know, this looks like a bottom if you do bar replay. And you are right here. It's looking pretty bullish, honestly. Like you're seeing what looks like a double bottom and like a bull div on the waves, money flow coming up. You see like some MC basic strategy going on here. But the problem is, see, you're under a red DBSI. And so watch, we're gonna get that follow through. The long is gonna play out, right? The long is going to play out, but the issue is that since you're under a red DBSI, you have that bearish trend bias, and so you don't want to ignore the setups that are going on above the zero line. What we see above the zero line is a bit of a bullish divergence. You know, the price coming up, but the waves coming down here. A little bit of that going on. See, it continues to diverge. It even like, it gets you hopeful. Like it keeps kind of like tickling that, trying to break out. We come up higher and it's still diverging. And you get, look, boom, you get absolutely entombed. And so that's what can happen to you in, that's what can happen to you in an established downtrend. It's like, you'll, like the longs will play out to an extent and then you'll get rubbed. So, yeah. It's almost more beneficial to wait patiently for the short setup when you see a red DBSI like that. I love watching bar replay. But you see now, once we flip green though, it's like any green dot you pick ends up being a winner because it's only a matter of time before you're in the green in your longs in a bullish environment, obviously. Even a green dot above the zero line will eventually play out for you. You don't even like need to be that picky with a wave reading when you have good trend bias, if you employ good trend bias. Ground chakra, man. Let's take a look at ARC block for you, bro. I don't know the ticker on ARC block. ABT looks like. What chart? Ground chakra. What's the actual exchange that you're trading Arc Block on? Coinbase? Also, man, I was talking about Brett. I was getting Brett and Base confused. Base is the chain that is like come up and coming, that could be the next Solana. I fucked that up. I'm sorry to Brett is just a coin on Base. I'm sorry about that. But Base is kind of that Solana competitor that could be coming up. There could be a narrative around that coming up. But I like that Brett chart. That was looking good. Yeah, Crown Chakra, if you're in here, man, I hope this is the chart that you want me to look at, bro. That's a nice chart. That's a nice chart, Crown. Not gonna lie. Look at that chart, man. Yes, sirree. You see the weekly, you know, it looks like weekly runaway train status. Still looking good. This thing doesn't really, the party isn't over until you cross below that 60 line. Money flow is still coming in. It's crazy that you see these red dots up here and then it just gets saved again and again. It just goes to show you that you don't want to count these waves out bullish from a bullish standpoint until you get that bearish cross under the 60 line. So whenever the blue waves go over the 60 line, you got to be weary of those knives to the upside for sure. So the weekly here still looking quite strong. Don't know really what's going on around Arc Block, but that is a strong uptrend here. You know, it's going to be hard to even catch this with anchored VWAPs. But if you put a volatility band up, I mean, look, we're stretching even the top of like a level 3 volatility band. So it's hard for me to even give you an upside target on this. It's just kind of dumb pumping for the time being. It's hard to, honestly, it's hard to do an analysis on this, not gonna lie. All I can tell you, I can give you an important level. I can tell you that we could dump as low as $1.03, and Arc Block is still bullish, still in an uptrend. So if you saw some strength after it dipped down to this level for some reason whatsoever, like, you would still be relatively hopeful on that. Yeah, I mean, you could also slap an anchor on the beginning of it, you know, and so that would give you some additional support at 50 cents. But this is really new. It's a new asset, not much data. It looks like it's pretty much just begun. So hard to do a more in-depth analysis on this for the time being, man. What I can tell you is that on the 1 hour, we still are in an uptrend. So the longs are still favored for the time being. If you can let the 1 hour pull back, Crown, and you see anchor trigger set up, then it's still a juicer, man. Shahid Kanani wants me to look up Crow. Let's take a look at crypto.com. This is one coin I would like to see come back, man. Crypto.com, like, you know, you would expect, you know, with the success of Binance coin, you know, that Crypto.com's coin would also be a performer. A lot of people were disappointed in Crow's performance last cycle. If you slap one on that beginning of the price action, looks like Crow's finally just now reached a point in its lifetime where Crow is recovering over that volume weighted resistance that was like pushing Crow down for so long. We come up, we tested its resistance, get a little bit of a handle, like a cup and handle kind of thing, and we are looking to find some support here. So, you know, there's a case building for a bullish Crow. You see you're in an uptrend on the daily. Longs are favored, and you do have that lifetime volume weighted support on Crow here. A little bit of a bullish div on the daily. The level we'd want to come over on Crow to get even more bullish would be 13.8 cents. if we come over 13.8 cents here, then your lifetime anchor starts to curve up, right? And we're on top of it. As we get more bullish here, we want the anchor from this recent all-time high. You want this anchor to be below the price and curving up. And once you get that, you've got a green DBSI, a green lifetime anchor, and a green anchor from that high. If you slap an anchor on this low, you can see that we're underneath that. So that was a level that we really needed to stay over and hold, you know, so since we failed that, we are ranging down below. But overall, I'd say, you know, it's building a case for a bit of a comeback. The only thing is, like, how is this going to perform in relation to Bitcoin, right? I'm looking at this from like an investment standpoint real quick, because I personally know some people that invested a lot in this. Yeah, and you can see that this pair has a long ways to go, you know? Like, you want to believe in Crypto.com's coin because, you know, it's like I said, just like how Binance coin tends to trend well on Bitcoin, you would think that this would do something similar. If this ever did move, that is a large, you know, you could make a lot of Bitcoin swapping into this at the right time and then swapping back into Bitcoin. But you got to catch that move, and it's kind of knife catchy. It's like kind of knifey kind of pair, bro. So, yeah. Tamea says he's got a bagger 5 in arc block. Nice. I mean, that's cool. You guys are bullish on that arc block, man. That shit's been pumping. Was that on the bubbles, bro? Man, look at that freaking, look at Bonk, bro. I can't believe this shit, man. Bonk and Pepe just murdering it, man. Meme coin narrative is strong, man. It pairs well with the everything bubble gambling type of mentality. You got the communities that don't dump on you as hard. And you got performance. Most of all, you got performance. Damian Alakashi says, can you check out Front? Sure. Man, this is a juicer stream. Make sure you guys like the stream. This is a nice, this is a good Monday, man. This is like the best Monday ever. Let's see. Looks like Front's still coming over. It's May anchor. Interestingly enough about this chart is like all the year to date, the quarter two, and the May anchor are all pretty like stacked up, right? If we can just chop through this very quickly, there's not much volume weighted resistance above. I do see money flow scooping up on the daily. You got a green DBSI uptrend going on there on the daily chart. Pretty bullish, man. Pretty bullish coin. Yeah. I'd say longs are playing out pretty good. I mean, I just saw a lot of cards stacked up. I went through all those time frames, and you see green DBSIs, green money flows, the overcoming of a lot of anchors that are stacked up. And so price action over time has built up to pretty much create this really tight level that once we get over it, there's not much resistance above. So definitely an interesting chart, man. Thanks for the suggestion. Trench Runner says, did I ditch the treadmill? I have the treadmill here still. It's just like I'm getting cardio in every day. You guys see my workouts, right? I gotta protect my ankles. I gotta protect my feet. Every day, like my calves are sore, my ankles are sore from burpees and jump ropes and stuff. And I'm still exercising transparently. So, but I do have my treadmill here. If there's ever a day where like I just do push-ups or something and nothing else, no cardio, you may see me pop it out and stuff. But one thing I have been doing is I am standing while doing this analysis. So, you know, I shuffle a little to the left and right, and I'm standing, you know. I'm not sitting down blurbing at you guys like a lazy toad. I am on my feet. Make sure you guys are staying on your feet. Stay grounded on the earth, man. Get that connection to the grass, to the ground. Make sure you walk every day. Get your heart rate up. Get sweating every day, man. Mr. Carmoot, good to see you in, man. Let's take a look at IMX for you. May looking like a juicer. Q2 looking like a juicer. Contending with a bearish year-to-date sentiment. That's really all you got holding you down. So you definitely are hitting some like supply at this level, right? Some people looking at that year-to-date sloped down kind of volume sentiment. I'm sure that's lining up with some other indicators too. So you get a little bit of like a hidden, you know, and you look at the waves and you definitely see like we are at a lower high despite the waves coming up quite a bit. But I believe that this is kind of a medium term kind of bearish sign. You get a little bit of sell off here, and then eventually this scooping up of the red money flow and the green DBSI and in the more shorter time frame anchors aiming up will eventually push IMX to the upside. That's my take on the daily there. Not a bad one, not a bad one. Spike wants me to look at AGIX. And you know, when Bitcoin starts pumping, you know, all these coins are going to pump. And so I'm going to sound like a broken record, bro. Oh, this looks good. That looks good. This looks good. So hopefully you guys don't forget, man, that I'm not afraid to say when things are looking concerning, right? When things are under anchors and when shorts are favored and all that stuff. So, you know, I hope when I turn bullish, when I turn into a bulltard, you guys like understand it's like for decent reason, if that makes sense. Yeah, but yeah, when everyone's bullish, you don't know who to listen to, bro, because everyone's just like, it's just too much hype, bro. AGIX is definitely looking good, man. Look at you over the year to date, looking strong, bouncing off that shit. Green DBSI on the daily, green DBSI on the 2 hour. Definitely longs favored, so you may want to wait. Like just because you're in an uptrend and you're bullish doesn't mean to just FOMO in at highs. You have to be patient on these coins. Just because you've sat down at the chart with your bag of Cheetos and your chips and dip, hodl coins to watch me flip. You know, it's like sometimes you look at a chart and you gotta accept, okay, it's looking bullish. I'm gonna star this chart. I'm gonna continue to look at it because it's a performer, right? But I gotta wait for like a 1 hour anchor trigger setup. I gotta wait for like a reason to get in, you know? So right now it looks like you've already got some anchor trigger playing out, you know? We're already at a point where people are probably dumping some supply on your ass, but overall, it's looking bullish. You got the EMA scooping up, anchors below you, giving you some fuel. And man, that's pretty much it. Trench Runner says if it broke down or the burpees were taken over. Oh yeah, man, I love the burpees. Sahid Kanani says to look at Leash. Take one last look at ooh. Yeah, I don't really see a. Is this an exchange, bro? Yeah, no. What is this shit, bro? Oh man. Yeah, I'm not gonna look at that. No offense, bro. But man, I think that's it for the Monday. How are we looking on man? That was a good ass stream. I appreciate you guys tuning in. One of the best Mondays we've had in a while, bro. Like, just make sure you guys are getting it. Get that physical activity in. Make sure you're showing up tomorrow. Zed Karmut asked me one last question. Am I giving up on Pulse? Man, my brother wants me to give up on Pulse and sell my bags really bad. You know, and I got, dude, no one flames Richard Hart and fat shames him more than me, bro. You know, I did, you know, put the money that I put into Pulse, I said, I'm just going to piss it away. Like, if something happens with it, I don't care. If something doesn't happen with it, I don't care. But I probably will take a look at that Pulse, and I haven't even checked it, bro. Honestly, like, it's like the last of my concerns right now, checking that fucking shitcoin. So, but yeah, I'll be back tomorrow evening. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Get some sleep. Love you guys, and have a good night.